Welcome back to this week's podcast. Today we're going to be talking about a more juicy topic, which is what I learned when my hubby and I made over $200,000. I usually don't like to talk about like the money part of it because that's very intimate for me, just because I am so freaking over this whole like make 100,000 or make like this much per month and all this bullshit that everybody's using for marketing to force people to go into debt or invest in programs that are not beneficial for them. And that has been my biggest setback in sharing more things about money and things. I like to keep that more private, but I did want to share this episode because we were doing our taxes and I was like, oh my gosh, nobody tells you this. Nobody tells you this. And it was a big milestone for my husband and I to reach that threshold. And will I share when we reach the next one? I'm not sure, but let's get to it. What nobody tells you when you are self-employed. Okay. Yes, there are tax write-offs, okay? There's certain things that are tax write-offs and are not. Before I begin this episode, I am not a CPA. I'm not a tax consultant. I am not a professional in this. I am just sharing my own experience. So let's do this. There are tax write-offs. And yes, if you have kids, you get tax write-offs and some credits that you qualify for. But when you reach a certain income bracket, you no longer qualify for those. And nobody tells you that part, okay? I do live in California. Everything's just more pricier. The cost of living is higher here. So, it depends, I guess, where you live at and everything. But, how much we end up paying in taxes, that's for us to know. But I will share this. It started with the estimate of $46,000 pre-tax write-offs. So if you do the math, if you make $200,000, okay? If you were to make that and you minus $46,000, that means that's $154,000 left, okay? Now, that's not calculating still like the, tools and equipment and supplies and products we have to buy and all that stuff that, is going to take away from all that. But I wanted to share this episode today because I think it's such a huge misservice and misconception that I see all this marketing shit right now. And yes, I am going to swear in this episode. Sorry, that just came out naturally. Because there is the reality of doing business. In business, like it's not you, just because you made that amount of money doesn't mean you all get to take it home. A lot of it you have to pay taxes on it. I haven't even included yet the supplies and products and everything. And having said that, it's like, why aren't marketers being more upfront and upcoming about that? And also, I think it's so important right now with online education, with all this information out there, that we really put ourselves in the more of the investigative shoes. And what I mean by that is, like, of course, don't rely solely on Google, but maybe you go talk, most people offer like free 15-minute consultations. It's something that I even do in my business. I just require that a contact form be submitted first on my website so I can, go into a 15-minute call for somebody to see if we're a good fit. But most people will do a consultation to just kind of help guide you. I remember we had something going on with my husband and we're going to buy a first property and we were consulting with somebody and, it was free of charge. And he headed us towards the direction where to get started and, and we went from there. But I'm just letting you know that because don't be blindsided by all the stuff that people are saying. The reality is that when you make certain income brackets, you no longer get to qualify for special things. You don't get special deductions. You don't get to qualify for a lot of other things. And I feel like there has to be more of a upfront and real conversation about this subject. Also, I was looking at our insurance, how much we paid a year in health insurance, because my husband and I, we don't qualify for free medical or anything like that. So I guess I'm going to get kind of personal in this one, but oh wow. But we do pay for health insurance. That's a real thing. We have co-payments when we go see the doctor that comes out of our pocket. My husband had surgery. We had to pay, like a chunk of money for that as well. Like, it's all the real things that nobody tells you. Nobody tells you, like, hey, yes, you can make a big, and I'm not saying don't make more money. What I'm saying is, like, let's have a real conversation. What happens when you make more money? There are other expenses, right? So we have, insurances, and like you should be protecting your assets. So you probably pay more than everybody else in insurance because you're protecting yourself more. We have different type of insurances and different things like that. There's business expenses as being business owners that go into it. We invested in our education. As you know, I love taking education, but I am now at a point where, and that's why I'm sharing this with you candidly, as we are increasing our income, that I'm being more strategic as well, what education, who I'm learning from. And I am being that investigative reporter. I'm not just going to go learn from anybody because they said so or because they claim they've made so much money or whatever. I'm going to go learn from somebody because I know so. I know that they can give me the results. I know that they have done what they say they have done. And I can invest in that. And I just think it's so much more important that we have a candid conversation about being prepared for tax season. I know right now taxes are coming up. For us, taxes are due March 15th. So, that's what inspired this podcast today. And I just wanted to have a candid conversation about the reality of, making over that 100,000 or even 200,000 per year mark. So these are some things that I wish somebody would have told me that I am helping and, sharing with you. I always, but in case nobody has told you, please save money for your taxes. I don't live a very, how would you say, like, I don't really like to, I'm not the type of person who likes to flaunt things, you know what I mean? Like, it's not in me. Like, I love buying a cute dress, but I'm not gonna splurge. Okay, yeah, I'm not a splurger. I like to have money set aside for an investment comes along and we're like, hey, that's a good idea. Or maybe an emergency happens because rainy days happen. Just to give you an example, why it's so important that you save money not only for your taxes, but also for unexpected things in life. So my husband last year had surgery that was very unexpected. He was out of work for like a month and a half and we didn't sweat it. Like, honestly, we were not worried about money. And I know that's a privileged thing to say, but I'm being honest with you because I want to keep this episode candid. We were able to stay home and relax. I was able to take care of him. We were able to shop gifts like we always do and splurge a little bit more for Christmas. And it was just a nice time because I'm like, wow, I've never been in that position where I'm like, wow, like I didn't know he wasn't going to be working. And, I wasn't working either. I've been going through therapy. I was going through therapy at the time and just finishing up my whole thing with my hand. And it was an awesome blessing. And so I did want to share that part of it too, that being able, when you get more income in, it's not about spending more money. It's also about, yes, enjoy your life, take your little, fun things and buy a little extra nice things. And yes, we did a little extra things for our kids, but we also are very savvy in the sense that things can happen unexpectedly, and I was so happy we were prepared. So please prepare yourselves. Please prepare for the unexpected by, paying for health insurance. I know it's expensive. I'm just going to give you a rough ballpark estimate. It's around over $1,000 a month for insurance for two people. I'm just basing it roughly, okay? In California, that's per month for two people. I'm just giving you an estimate. I don't know if it's my real premium or not, but that's an estimate in the low park, at least for the plan that we had. To be honest, we paid a little bit more than that, if I'm being honest, okay? So I'm just letting that because part of having a different income bracket is that you are going to pay out of pocket for different things. And one of those things is health insurance. I know this is kind of like a wishy-washy or different, like very different type of topic for everybody, but I just want to share the story that changed my life, why I believe so much in health insurance. When I was young, I knew somebody, they were very well off, very wealthy family and everything. And the husband unfortunately got an unexpected heart attack, okay? And they got over $100,000 in debt, okay? And then he wasn't able to do his job the same and everything. Moral story is, you can imagine, he lost his home, he lost his business, and it took a big toll on the family. And it was because it didn't have health insurance. And that was the first time as a young under 18-year-old mind that I learned that, oh my gosh, not everybody gets insurance. And if you don't have it, you have to pay out of pocket. And if you're not prepared, it can affect your life and your family. So that's why I'm a big proponent on health insurance. And since we're in the insurance realm, and I do come from an insurance background, and I'm no longer licensed in California to practice insurance, but from what I learned in my past background and years doing it and advising others, is that it's so important that you have auto policy coverages that cover you liability wise properly. It's so important that you cover your business properly and also your life properly. I know life insurance is like an iffy topic for many. I've lost two people I love very much when I was 9 and when I was like in my early 20s, and I've seen how much life insurance can help and hinder somebody if it's not in place. So that's just my little soapbox moment on insurance. Now let's keep moving with the episode. Okay. So the other thing is, like, nobody tells you, right, that you're not going to take all that money home, okay? Like, we talked about taxes, we talked about health insurance and all these other additional expenditures. And there is the supplies, there is the products, there is the tools that you're going to need, right, to perform in your business. Not all of that is profit. Just because you get paid that doesn't mean it's all profit, right? Because we need to buy, for example, if we're a hairstylist and you're a colorist, you're going to need to buy color, you're going to need to buy tools. Maybe, there's a new class that you want to take to better yourself as something that is very important to your business. Or, there's a new software, or whatever it is. There's expenditures that come, but I think it's so important that the profit margin, that's very important to look at your numbers, okay? Look at your numbers. Look how to be more profitable by doing less and spending less than spending more on education, spending more on, this the new hottest tool when you really don't need it. Because I just think it's so much more important that we learn how to manage our money when our income brackets changes as well. And, the other thing that people don't tell you about this, I wish I would have known, is you're still the same human. So I still wear the same. I still look the same. Well, maybe right now I'm a little swollen from the face, I'm not going to lie. But anyways, so you still look the same, you feel the same, you're going to be as happy or as not as happy as you were with or without it. Okay, your income bracket. So make yourself happy. Like I always tell people, like, you need to make yourself happy. I was sad, and I did a candid episode this week about, my little pet passing away. But, you still are a human. I'm not going to say and lie that it doesn't help you when unfortunately or like unexpected situations happen in life, because it does help, but you're still human. You still are you. Your happiness is not determined just by this. Your happiness is determined by you. And I think that was one of the biggest lessons with my husband and I, is that we can work less and make more. And I know it sounds weird, and I always used to hear people say that, and people are so full of crap, I would say in my head. I'm keeping it honest, okay? So the conversations that happen in my head, and now that I look at it, I'm like, no, it's true. Like we have all the same 24 hours a day, and it's just about what are you willing to do to go to that level? Because lastly, to end this episode, is gonna require a different version of you. And that's something big. I think it's going to require a different version of you. Not that you feel better or superior than anybody else. Not like that. It's more of you being able to be comfortable. Like when, for example, we don't work all year long. Like my husband and I, we don't. That's not for us. I won't say how long we work and we don't work, but we don't work all year long. And it's just being able to have the mindset that, we don't need to be in this whole, like, work and pay, right? Like when we start off in young and we're 15 or 13, my husband started working early on when he was 13. And by the way, he does not have a college degree. That's why I love him so much. He's such an amazing human. He has been able to do so much. And of course, I've helped him and pushed him a little bit to get there, but he's done awesome. And it's been this whole mindset shift that working doesn't equal money. Okay. This whole mindset shift that we don't work all the time to make money, that sometimes it's sitting in the silence. Sometimes it's like you get big chunks of it and like you have to invest it wisely. You have to utilize it wisely and not relying on a constant, like all the time flow of money or all the time work nonstop to be able to welcome it in. And it's really has been, I think, over the past years, a team effort. And I know that he's told me this. This is not, I'm not blowing my own horn or trying to like, oh, go Celeste. Like, no, this is what something that he told me that I didn't know. He's like, all the education, Celeste, that you've taken and that you've learned, because I love business. Okay. Like this is not, I'm not just doing things or say things. When I say beauty business mindset podcast, it's because I am passionate about beauty. I found myself through beauty. I love business because it has opened so many doors and avenues and expanded my mind, learning about business and numbers. And I love mindset because my mind has been the thing that keeps me going. It has kept me here to this point, pushing past my body, pushing past my health, pushing past my own self-limiting beliefs or stories, to be where I'm at today. And that's why I help you to get to that point too. But the thing that no one tells you, it's going to be up to you. It really is up to you. It's not a magic pill. It's not a magic course. It's not a magic mentor. It's you doing the work and the mindset that we get to be happy and we deserve that in that abundance, and also like the privilege that comes with it. But really like the humility of that and sharing this podcast today with you and really opening up my heart and my home and, something that's I usually don't share with you is that it's all in your mind, and it's all the mindset. And that, just because, and I'm going to say it again, just because you make $200,000 doesn't mean you take $200,000. And, I'm in this program. Okay. Like I'm in the trial period. We're going to see if I really like it. I think I will. I really resonate, and I did my homework with this. But I'm in this program to like just help elevate some parts of our business. And I loved how this person was so upfront and transparent in this part. And that's what the part that I was like, I need to work with her. And also, she's has a more successful business than my husband and I do. So I was like, this is awesome because I want to learn from people who already been there and gone through, the next steps. Anyways, and she's being transparent in her, she's just teaching to us. There's no slides, nothing like that. And she's like, I invested $20,000 in ads to get a lot of people into my, into this 3-day, because she did this 3-day boot camp, like 3-day classes. And I was like, wow, like she's being transparent that people didn't magically just appear to this webinar or this class that she's hosting for 3 days. She actually invested $20,000 of her money with the belief on Facebook ads, with the belief, her belief, okay, that it's going to give her more of the ideal clients that she needs for the program that she's putting out there. Again, I think this is her third time or second time running this program, for the second year or third year that she's running it. And anyway, so that is a big, that's her thing, and that's what she believes in. And that's a mindset, shift again that I would have to go through, because for me, I'm saying like, oh, you're going to go invest $20,000 on Facebook ads. For me, it would be like, no, like I am not going to do that. But maybe it's a mindset shift, and we're all in different levels. And that's what I mean. As our income grows, as our business evolves, we learn different things, and it's okay. It's part of the evolution. But I am here to tell you that it's not all about just all the education or having a college degree, because neither my husband nor I have a college degree. I have a high school degree, and I got licenses that I let go, and then I had my right now I have my cosmetology license. My husband is a licensed, his business and what he does. He's in the construction field. And, I love him so much. And he said, it's okay, I can share this with you guys. He only graduated junior high. He didn't finish high school because he didn't want to. Not because he couldn't. It was because he didn't want to. And he's very successful in his business, but it has taken work and dedication as well. Nobody's going to tell you or share with you that he worked nonstop for 18 years of his life. Nobody's going to tell you that, me as his wife, like the first 7 years of our marriage, my husband only took 2 days off a year. Okay, so he worked 363 days a year. Okay, he was a bit of a workaholic, I'm not going to lie. And he was always working. And we were not making money when he was doing that. And nobody's going to tell you that for me, I invested a lot of time and money. And when my friends, passed cosmetology school, and during cosmetology school, were buying Starbucks or getting new cars or, doing all the cool stuff, I wasn't doing that. I got my new car when I graduated Cosmo school because I already had a job guaranteed, and I was already working in it while in beauty school to start apprenticing and start learning. Nobody's going to tell you about the times that I took away from my family to learn. Nobody's going to tell you about the sacrifices I made to continue my education, and how sometimes, if I really want something, because I'm very into like having a budget and not overspending, I'll stop doing something that's an extra for me so I can invest in my education and further my knowledge. But most importantly, and I know I keep saying I'm going to end this podcast, but it just feels intuitively I need to say this out loud. For you, for somebody needs to hear this message today. Most importantly, so you just heard of that, right? You heard we don't come from money. We did made sacrifices and everything to be where we're at today. But most importantly, the most important thing that everybody needs to do to be somewhere where they're not at today is we need to change what we're doing. We need to take action. You need to take action and do something different, because wanting a new result doing the same crap that we've been doing over and over is insanity. It's crazy. Okay, like we need to be able to do something different. And for me, that is the next step. Is it scary for me? Heck yeah, it is scary for me. Is it scary for my husband? Heck yeah, scary for him. He's like, I don't know, but I know we're ready. I'm ready and you're ready. Okay, let's do this. So we are, investing in something new, and we're doing something new. And, I'm like, hey, it's just what we need, because to be able to expand and grow, there's only so much only him and I can do, and I don't want to be working inside of my business my whole life either, like there's other people and there's a collective and there's a community, and I really believe we're all united in this. And if I grow, I can help other people grow, and not just by, hey, pay me, but also like maybe we work together or whatever it is, like in different ways. And that's why I wanted to share with you guys today in this episode, that it's not about, oh, look at all the money that we made and this is stuff. No, it's about the reality of what happens when you hit certain income, margins. What happens with the reality of things, and the reality of things, even with all this, I don't know. I just want to be honest with you. Like, we do not own a house yet because I don't want to. I really don't. I haven't found the one for us yet, and I don't see, for me, like owning a house is not a big thing for me. It really is not. Like, it has to be the right one, and that's something I'm gonna rush into it. Where we live, we remodel. It's my husband and his parents' thing, and his brothers. I don't know. That's their thing. But I just know that we remodeled and made it pretty. And this is where I live right now. And live in buying a house, maybe, I don't know. Like, it's not a milestone for me. And that's what I wanted to end this episode with, is that success is individual. What you seem as successful, what you seem as wealth, what you seem as abundance can be totally separate and different than me. And I feel very happy to where I'm at right now in this moment. And I wanted to share this candid episode with you guys because nobody talks about this shit. Nobody tells you that just because you make a certain income, right? Or you hit those 200K or over 200K, you're going to take all that home. Like that's a lie. And that's a misconception. That's why I refuse. And I am so over those freaking things where they're like, make 100,000, make whatever a month, like, I'm like, who fucking cares? How much are they taking home though? Because, like even with online businesses, there's so many softwares and payments. And, I went through a little bit just with my own personal, our bills and stuff. And like, not qualifying for free things and different things. And I just wanted to do this transparent episode with you. I hope you found it helpful. As always, if you want guidance in your wealth, in your insurance, in your health insurance, your life insurance, your business insurance, whatever it is, contact your local or your insurance agent. Ask questions, you guys. Ask. Nothing hurts. I always tell my husband, I'm like, the worst thing that can happen if I ask too many questions is people are going to think I'm annoying, which whatever, that's none of my opinion and that doesn't matter to me, or I'm going to get a no. And now I know the answer. The answer is no. So don't be afraid to ask. Don't be afraid to ask the proper people that know and are knowledgeable with that, depending on what state or city you live on. That's very important. But I just wanted to share this candid episode with you today. So much love, and I'll see you back here next week.